Ladies and gentlemen, friends, rakkaat ystävät, kära vänner, it's really a great pleasure and honor for me to stand here in front of you today. This is a great honor for me. I'm very happy for it, having received it from Aalto community, which I respect very much, and I've been working with so many nice colleagues and excellent scholars here over so many years, particularly in the past 10 years of the path of Aalto University to building the new university. Whereas this is a personal recognition, it's also a recognition, as I feel it, to the whole unit which I represent, the Water and Environmental Research Group at the School of Engineering at Aalto University. We are working very much together to improve our education and research, and also to bring new ideas and new content to the whole civil engineering community in this country and elsewhere. Let me start with a story several years back. It was in 1996. There was an interesting art and science exhibition at the Heureka Science Center in Vantaa. It was on Nordic explorers. There are lots of very prominent Nordic explorers over the years, from Finland and from other countries. And the keynote speech was given by the famous Thor Heyerdahl from Norway. I guess many of you have read his books. And so did I when I was a kid and went to school. He said that the end of exploring is not over. And there's lots of things to investigate on our planet, but maybe he would go beyond our planet to to search for different planets and search for different solar systems. My way has been the former one. I'm so interested in understanding what's going on here on our planet, and I've been admiring the great explorers for all of my life. So I keep saying that the planet Earth is my favorite planet, and I don't expect going anywhere else. So we have and we should take care of our planet because it's our home. So why did I go to study engineering in the first place? Something like, well, a little bit more than 40 years ago already, if I'm so interested in exploring. I think exploring is fine, but I found my motivation for making things happen as well, to create solutions and find solutions and work with practical issues. But I have to confess that at the same time, when studying engineering, I was very thirsty for natural sciences as well, so I studied a master's degree also at the University of Helsinki. I wanted to learn more about natural sciences. Another story comes from a little bit earlier. When I was at the time when I was finishing my doctoral studies, it was very easy to find other things to do than finish the dissertation. Maybe somebody else recognizes this. So I went to, as a teacher, to Asian Institute of Technology in Bangkok, in Thailand. And I was very eager in learning about that country and that place, because it's an international university where scholars from all over the world, and particularly from Asia, come from. that was really educative and nice experience. But as it often comes, many of the lessons learned come from outside of the classrooms. I enjoyed very much strolling around in Bangkok in free times, and I did it quite a lot, and got so fascinated about all these wicked problems and all this mess that a city like Bangkok contains. There's a lot of need for engineering solutions. There's a lot of fancy things at the cultural domain and so forth, but the whole complexity, which is really surprising for a person who comes from rural areas of Finland from 1960s and 70s. But it was so interesting, and it has taken at least part of my attention also in the scientific work. After finishing my PhD, I really was looking after going to study bigger problems. And one of the steps that I was able to take was to have an internship at United Nations University's wider institute, World Institute for Development Economic Research, which is here in Helsinki. And I was working with economists on urbanization and natural resources management problems. And that led the way partly to establishment of the Water and Development Research Group, which was mentioned by the rector in his introduction. So we are now a group of around 20 researchers. We have been working 20 years now, and I'm very happy to have a very good team of scholars who obviously are all younger than me. Professor Matti Kummu received just a consolidator grant from European Research Council and is putting his project together. Dr. Marko Keskinen has been active with his Strategic Research Council project on comprehensive security of Finland in the realm of uncertainties related to energy, food and water issues, including climate change. And he's now an advisor part-time for the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, so we really aim high at creating impact. And Marko is also very much involved now with the European presidency of Finland with this half-year time. So we have carried out lots of extensive research activities. We even had several years an project office in the Mekong region countries, in Cambodia and Laos and so forth. We've been working very much in Central Asia with the Aral Sea issues and some other ones. Middle East, North Africa are also some of the areas where we have been active, and also in global scale. And our partners have been, besides academic ones I mentioned already, ministries, but also some funding organizations such as Asian Development Bank and so forth. So we aim at combining engineering and technologies with environmental, social, and economic impacts towards sustainable development. Besides research, we have been working on in a very cross-disciplinary way, on interdisciplinary way, on the Sustainable Global Technologies program, with many units here at Aalto, with Aalto Global Impact, with Creative Sustainability at the Art School, with IDBM in the Business School, and with World in Transition in the Art School, to name a few. So water is one of the very first engineering topics in the whole world, I would guess. I don't go into the Mesopotamian ages. It would be easy. But anyway, I think water is very important for today's world, for built environments, for humankind, and also for the ecosystems, for sustainable ecosystems. Leonardo da Vinci said that water is the blood of the planet. If something goes wrong, you can feel problems in many other places. And we aim at educating water experts from Aalto University as forefront methodological competence combined with high level of skill in tackling complicated multidisciplinary problems. And if we talk about sustainable development goals, I'm very proud and extremely committed to the new upcoming Aalto strategy's emphasis on sustainability. Sustainable development goals have 17, or they are 17 different goals. And it's hard to take any of them which is not connected to water. If we talk about climate change, we know that hydrological cycle with the rainfall, with the energy transfer of water in the atmosphere, with the floods, with icebergs, with glaciers, all that stuff has close links to water. If you talk about life below water, if you talk about ecosystem degradation, if you talk about food production, whatever, water is very essential. It's not the only one. There are lots of other cross-cutters as well, but sustainability question is very much present in today's water research. And it's one of the features of today's water-related problems, or maybe also many other problems, is that we are working with issues which are kind of a double-edged sword. So technology is developing extremely fast. We have lots of new innovations every year, and the development of technologies and science is really amazing. I just took some statistics, so it might be not surprising to you, but when I did my master's thesis in 1980s, we were really much kind of admiring the Cray 1 supercomputer that we had in Otaniemi those days. Now I have a four-year-old pretty ordinary smartphone in the pocket, which has the computational capacity of 140 Cray 1 supercomputers. And this tendency is not finished, it's not ending. It's actually even a little bit accelerating, so it's exponential. Anyway, with all this new knowledge, all these tools, we could imagine that we don't face global problems, but the reality is a little bit contradictory, because the challenges, many of the challenges on the globe are growing as well, perhaps equally fast, and this is why I called our time a double-edged sword. And one of the key kind of messages would be to our students to target at least some of the attention and some of the skill to solving world's big problems. Of course, it's easy for me to mention water, but there are lots of other ones too. And what we need, I think we need deep specialized learning, science-based learning, as we do here at Aalto, combined with ability to understand, work together, work in much bigger teams than today, to communicate really well. I think these have been very much along the lines of what we have been working so hard to develop at Aalto in the past 10 years. And of course, before that as well in our predecessor universities, but I think the work is not over. There's lots of, or most of the things maybe still ahead of us. And to combine short-term and long-term work, and combine also the deep knowledge with maybe more contextual knowledge than typically is present these days. So we should understand much about the world's development and don't get surprised so easily. One thing, of course, which has been always important but remains to be important and maybe worth emphasizing more than before is research ethics. Those who have education, those who have skills to express things, they have a big ethical task for the mankind as a whole. Academic freedom, of course, it was mentioned by the previous speakers. I'm very much along it, and I would like to also bring to our students the kind of counterpart, maybe a little bit Protestantic counterpart to freedom, the responsibility. We are responsible of many things as we get such a great education. I'm saying one quote. You might be familiar with this, but perhaps not everybody. It comes from Mika Waltari. It doesn't apply to all of us, but at least it has applied to me in a big way. So don't settle for small topics. We have got enough written tinkering. Hammer your time like glowing iron. Don't be afraid of big topics because you grow with your work. Be brave. You also need the courage to fail. I think going to the new academic year and going much further, I think we here at Aalto, we should continue to bridge gaps, break dichotomies, and unite splits in the society as a whole. And also maybe try to fight this double-edged sword problem. Aalto's strategy from 3 years ago that is still valid and what we are refining now stipulates that cutting-edge scientific and professional competence should be there to identify and solve grand challenges toward a sustainable society. I'm very much emphasize this still. I guess we will have update to this, but maybe the basic message doesn't change so much. It's crucial to have deep knowledge of own field and broad understanding of others and respect of others and ability to work together with others. And with this, we can be game changers to a positive direction. The world needs game changers, particular to that direction. We see lots of other direction too, but it's not so nice. So cordial thanks and appreciation once again for this recognition, and I wish you all an excellent start and good feelings and success for the new academic year. I sincerely hope that it will be a good time for all of us, and let's enjoy work together and produce great results in this year and also far ahead in the future. Thank you very much.